Hello, everybody. Welcome to the official Life on Mars.
Official?
As
in Danielle Fishel of Boy Meets World.
Dude,
it's
you really...
official.
Nice, got him.
Thank you.
Yeah.
You just heard the voice of co-creator and absentee showrunner Davis Brown. I am, of course... no other voices. I am, of course, Evan Brown, actor, co-writer, creator, genius, producer, rapper, codependent
on drugs.
Yep. And if you're one of the 8 people watching this, hi, Mom.
Hello.
And Mom again 7 times.
Yeah.
That was the voice of
Noah's mom.
Probably Noah's mom
and me.
and
I'll watch
Noah
it too.
when he's sad. This is Noah Meyer,
Hello.
production assistant.
Actor.
I guess.
Technically. In the sense that I was in a thing.
Really, you're just playing yourself. All right, we're going to get right into it. This is episode 1, so... This is pretty good.
I
Welcome to...
remember seeing the rough cut of this and thinking, oh my gosh, we did it. We actually did it. We made a thing that we wrote.
Yeah, it was very gratifying. I mean, it was probably more gratifying for you because you wrote it and then just left.
Yeah, I had the best role.
Yeah, you had the best, and you got to just kind of do whatever you wanted. This I actually had to edit together, like this opening segment, like 3 times.
2030 is too soon in the future. That's one thing I will say.
Yeah. This is like the 3rd go of this edit together. This is Noah's voice over here. This is Noah's voice, if you couldn't figure that out.
Mars.
This is the first thing we ever recorded. He sent this to me like probably a year before we shot.
Yeah, I just recorded it on my phone in my bedroom. Just.
And this was kind of the first sample of the tone of the show.
Yeah.
Oh, this bothers me. I don't think we ever mention it, but the dates don't line up.
Oh yeah, there's inconsistencies.
Well, I feel like not a lot of TV shows have consistency. It was so hard to get this first scene.
Yeah.
Like it was so hard to open this show.
I think actually the cut-ins of those little things, that was your idea, Davis, and I think that worked really well.
Yeah.
But it was kind of awkward without it.
It was a little weird without it.
This is literally the first thing we ever shot. We shot it in order, and
Right.
we shot this episode over, I think, like 36 hours.
Probably.
Including sleep. It was a very short amount of time.
The monkey was my idea too.
Monkey was Davis's idea.
Gosh, we're babies.
We are so
little
young
babies.
compared to also just episode 5.
Yeah.
We're so young. In the script, the original, it wasn't bee costumes, it was tutus. And actually, I will say those bee costumes cost like $15 a piece, and were probably the most expensive, like singular thing I bought for the show, not counting like lights and cameras.
Right. The lighting.
Yeah.
But
You didn't
like
buy the camera.
costume wise.
It was my camera. You didn't buy it.
Yeah, but you know what I mean. Kind of a fun feature about this episode is half the shots are out of focus.
Yeah,
it's just kind of like an artistic decision I made. I wanted it to be bad.
Also, you decided not to tape the NASA sign all the way.
To be fair, that wasn't my job. I delegated that because I was doing
who?
everything.
To
Probably
himself.
Seth.
Yeah.
He's not here, so we can dunk on him.
Yeah.
We were gonna dunk him so hard.
So good. Love the intro.
Yeah, we talked about this in the episode 2 commentary.
Yeah, we did.
Which we have not recorded yet.
Which we
I
haven't
saved it,
because we're
guys.
doing it in order. Nice.
Yeah. Yeah, Davis, what do you think of the intro? Let's get your thoughts.
You and I did this intro together in my apartment in Chicago. And it's real solid.
I think it's really
really
good. Seth, like the photos and the font. So actually, that font has been the font we used since the conception of this show.
Yeah.
Yes.
You were mocking up logos, and I mean the logo's pretty simple. It's just Life on Mars in
Brian
front
with
of
his long hair.
Mars.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was the font we used from the very beginning, and it never changed.
Yeah.
And it was my idea to put have like a border, so it's not the full screen.
Yeah,
which
I like
enjoy.
that. I like that decision.
So
That's still one of my favorite jokes in introducing Noah Meyer.
yeah, that's good. I kind of want to talk about. That's an outtake right there.
I love that shot.
I want to talk about, once we get back to it, the set design. Because Seth and I I had a bad habit when we were shooting this show of like being like, all right, this is the weekend we're gonna shoot. I'm gonna prep for it, and then I just wouldn't prep until the night before. And that was including costumes and set. So I made the costumes like 2 days before, and Seth and I stayed up really late designing the set the night of. And I honestly think it's pretty good for $0 budget.
It is.
I liked it.
Well,
yeah.
Mom and Dad were selling audience, the parents that Evan and I share,
and that Noah borrows.
I borrow them sometimes.
Mom and Dad were trying to sell the house, and people came and saw your set, and they thought it was like a futuristic design. And like, we'll make an offer.
Yeah, they were like, I love what you've done with the basement, which is funny. That's a good joke. There's a bit that we wanted to do, and we just completely forgot. But if you notice in this episode, pretty much at least very frequently, Noah's holding that like fake blaster.
Yeah.
And we just wanted him to be holding it all the time, and we just
like throughout the entirety of the show.
And
like an homage to Trailer Park
Oh
Boys.
yeah, where he always has the cigarette and a little bit.
But yeah, we just kind of forgot after the first episode.
It was very stressful shooting this show. And like this isn't the first thing I really ever shot on my own. I did a music video with you, Noah, Seth, and Aiden.
Oh yeah.
But we didn't use lighting or set. It was just all outside.
Yeah.
So that was pretty much the first thing I've done all on my own.
Man, just looking back on the first episode, I'm okay with most of my performances for the most part, but I really didn't like loosen up really until like 4 and 5.
Yeah. Well, no, I don't think
really
any
stiff.
of us did.
Yeah.
That was also a you joke, Davis.
Some alien thing.
Yeah. Well, that whole thing of just showing that was your
input. It was just
input.
hard because I think you guys learned a lot about the shots that you'd wanted. Well, like I remember when I would film stuff, like you can't ever have enough B-roll, right? There can never be enough B-roll.
Yeah. The costumes.
He's way better at lounging than I am, by the way, which we'll see later on.
Yeah, we mentioned this in the episode 2.
Fun fact: commentary. We're sitting on that couch.
We're actually sitting on that couch. Yeah. And then the chair that Seth is in is directly next to us.
Like same layout and everything. That's amazing.
Different house though.
Different house that you know about.
That's true.
Come and find us.
There's only one house.
There's only in the
There's
world.
only one. They're right.
The
It's all
Lord's
our house. Oh, sorry. The costumes I really wanted to, like, kind of be, and Davis, you and I both agreed on this, kind of like a homage to classic Star Trek.
Yes.
With like and you can kind of see it. We made them. Noah and I made them in a day. You were there for that.
I technically made them.
I made most of them.
I did a bad job.
Noah
sewing.
Is pretty much incompetent.
Evan was
at
like,
all
"Hey, do you
times.
know how to, like the very basic knowledge of like how to sew things?" I was like, "Yeah, probably. I could figure it out." And then I had no idea what I was doing.
Yeah, he didn't. But this is another example of like none of us really loosened up for the camera for this episode.
Look at me, I'm so stiff and weird.
That's such a weird position.
I'm so relaxed.
Why are you sitting like that?
I don't know.
This is one of my favorite bits of this episode because
the scarecrow bit.
Did you guys just improv
Oh yeah,
this?
Yeah,
it was
improv.
completely riffed. We did probably 5 takes of it, and it started out really slow and no one was saying anything, and I just had you guys pick up the pace.
Yeah.
And I would be like, all right, now do this. I like this. But yeah, it was all you guys.
Yeah, I remember that was completely not scripted.
One of my favorite lines, it always made me laugh in editing, was when you go, "My best friend is a scarecrow." I
talk to him every day.
Yeah.
This is the episode. I edited this pretty late in the game. I mean, 4 and 5 came together pretty late too. But like, this is one of those things where I was just
hit a wall.
I hit a wall, and also it's like we have the least amount of coverage for this episode, and the least like it didn't flow as well. So I would just edit, and I go, "Oh, I can't do it. It's not gonna be good," and I would leave it. But I'm actually through the editing process, I had like a love-hate relationship, and I've kind of come around. I think I'm pretty proud of it.
I mean, there's a few weird, jumpy parts, but other than that,
yeah. I mean, it's not good. Like I know that,
no,
but
like
I've appreciated it for what it is.
I do like how a slight spoiler, like this episode, Brian's character does not want to be a science person at all, and then you just abandon it. He's just the science person happily the rest of the series.
Yeah. Also, we're not worried about spoilers because I don't think anybody's going to watch the commentary track first.
This is a weirdly edited together. So we did a similar thing here that we did with Aiden. I'm going to reference the episode 2 commentary track a lot, but we had Emilio, who played Jesus, for like 6 hours, something like that, maybe more.
Not a long time.
And he was he was the only guy we could get, and he was such a trooper. He'd never acted before. It was kind of rough doing it. So like we did all his stuff.
Also, thanks to his girlfriend for like letting us just have him for that amount of time.
Yeah,
she was also
hanging out there, and she did not care for us. But we appreciate her for doing that. But yeah, he was like, I think he did pretty well, especially because he never acted before.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was stressful. So this stuff, Aiden wasn't there. Like all the stuff where not Aiden, Emilio wasn't there. All the stuff where you don't see him, this is hours later.
I would not have guessed.
Yeah, you wouldn't know. Yeah. That's one thing I'm kind of proud of.
I love that transition music. Like, there's a new girl in town.
We were so nervous about making Jesus jokes.
I know. When we wrote this, we were like, oh, are people going to be offended? And then by the time we had like shot it, we were just like, I don't care.
Yeah.
I mean, Mark's bit in episode 5, which we'll talk about when we do that, is like, it's, Anyway, we did not care. These are mild.
Yeah.
Brian's great, isn't he?
He's so good.
I don't know. Yeah. This is I'm enjoying watching this. It's been it's been like months since I've seen any of these. Yeah. So I don't know, Davis, do you want to talk about writing this a little bit? Because you wrote most of this episode.
Yes, I did. I forget. Okay, so I did there was an original pilot I wanted to do that was completely different.
It was called The Trouble with Interns, if I remember correctly.
The Star Trek episode, The Trouble with... Tribbles, thank you. I wanted to do the same thing, only they had an intern that they would kill or send off into space or something.
Yeah. This was back in the days of when their cast was Seth, me, and our friend Sam, and there was no one else, and he just wasn't available, and we, Brian threw in the mix, and we met Noah, so...
Hello.
Well, we stuck with the, I wanted there to be, the pilot of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, they meet someone that they immediately throw under the bus, and that kind of, like, sets up the characters, and that's kind of what I wanted to do with this. So I thought, I forget why we decided on Jesus, but I remember thinking it would be really funny. I just remember, I think I was just like spitballing Jesus jokes.
Yeah, I feel like that's how most of our things came. We were just like spitballing jokes together.
Yeah.
A lot of this stuff was written, but there's some Jesus jokes that it just came late in the day and were Emilio's idea. We missed it, but he goes, "It's gonna take a miracle to get you guys into shape." I think luckily I'm a miracle worker.
Yeah.
I think that was a last minute addition by Emilio. Yeah. And Seth had a great bit where he has a different salute every single time.
Oh, does he?
Yeah, so he's doing something different every time.
I remember trying kind of this rule of threes thing where we do like the candy bar thing.
Yeah.
And it would happen like 3 times in an episode. And second episode, I did the same thing with any word that ended with MEN.
Yeah, with the...
Or woman.
Oh, or woman. Yeah, we talked about that a little bit.
Yeah.
And then episode 3, it's the or no more than 7,000.
Yeah.
Which is one of my favorite jokes.
I know you were working on that side project, Evan, where you were going to reenact every episode where you were all the main characters.
Yeah, I did that for a while, and then I just decided...
you were talking about editing the first episode and how rough it was, and then you just wanted to like do it where it was just all you.
Do you want to talk about your upcoming adaptation of the novel Hearts of War?
I would love to. So this is written by an auteur, really. Not only an author, but an auteur. And I see why those words are so similar, because he is one and both. Robert Wimblad.
Sorry, you missed one. You missed the name in there.
Oh, yeah, Robert Adolph Wimblad.
Yep.
What a deep pull.
A lot of people forget the middle name.
Yeah,
I
think it's very important.
It's very important to remember the
that
middle
no
name.
one's going to know what we're talking about or care.
Yeah, well, we will.
We will. And we're the only ones watching
That's
this.
it.
Anyway, we're making an erotic film based on
Oh, I love this
this
sequence.
novel. You should check it out.
Yeah.
Hearts of War.
This is a good sequence. I think...
Yeah, I think this scene turned out really well, especially for how everything else in this episode went.
How dare you. That's another ADR line by you, Noah.
Yep.
I kind of sliced this scene up into oblivion. There are a lot of lines that didn't make it in because the flow didn't work.
Yeah.
There's a thing at the end where Seth was kind of riffing, and like it was funny in the moment, but it just made no sense. I'll point it out when it comes. And he went on for like 45 seconds. I just cut it down to like his last little thing.
Yeah.
But the reaction shot of Noah is actually your genuine reaction.
It was my
shot
genuine reaction because
to Seth going on for so long and just...
Here it is. That.
Yeah, that's like a genuine reaction to you going like, what is he saying? 'Cause he went on for so long.
This was fun. The Breakfast Club thing was very fun.
That was in the original draft. That was in Trouble with Interns. We watched The Breakfast Club. And I kind of like how I shot this as well, which is rare for this episode.
Yeah.
Do too. There's the gun.
There's the gun.
There's
yeah.
the gun. One of the last times you'll ever see it.
I also really like seeing the little details in the backgrounds.
Yeah.
Yeah, we worked really... Seth and I, we rearranged the entire basement. Like, it didn't look like that at all. We worked really hard on that. We actually did some very minimal research into, like, what Border Patrol offices look like. And that sign, the blue sign, is an actual... Like, it's kind of... It looks similar. That's how their sign design is.
That's cool. Also, this was a minute ago, but you were saying the Trouble with Interns. Speaking of renamed or scrapped episodes, we originally had a Christmas episode.
We did.
And I got scrapped.
Because it just was... It was narratively too complex.
Yeah.
We just couldn't figure it out.
I remember you explaining the plot to me, and it was...
It
was very
It would have
complex.
taken a lot of work.
Hey!
And there's Daybreak.
Daybreak by Michael Haggins.
Reference to the Evan Show and the Steve the Plumber, our podcast, but more accurately a reference to Community.
Yeah.
Where they play that song. This was one of the last things we shot, and we were very, very stressed, which is why it feels very rushed.
Yeah.
And the angles are all weird.
He's allergic to that thing. Glue or something. It's gluten.
Nice.
Yeah. Just silence for a minute. It'll be good. Just in case anybody just missed the episode and is only watching this.
Do you guys want to, just let
Should
this
we
go
leave?
and grab
Yeah.
a bite to eat or something?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Hey, welcome to... Where's the light in the scene? It's right over there.
Yeah, the lighting was terrible. It was Emilio brought the sombrero and the poncho.
Yeah.
Because I told him you're playing a captain in the military named Jesus Gonzalez. He was like, "Is this my costume?" And I was like, "No, it's not."
Captains in the military.
Yeah.
Wait, was that smoke coming out of his?
It was.
Yeah, that was improv on the day.
He had his vape with him, and
So we
he
wanted to
was
make
like, "I'm supposed to be angry, right? Would it be funny if like smoke came out of my nose?" And I was like, "Yeah, that'd be
I've
good."
never noticed that.
Yeah.
Oh,
No, do you
what
want
an-
to talk about
What an
doing
uncomfortable...
that?
Yeah, what an uncomfortable thing. I barely know this man at all. And they're like, yeah, just, shove a ding-dong in his mouth. Like, okay, here we go.
This was really fun to shoot. This shot, I'm really happy with how it turned out.
Yeah, this turned out nicely. Man, poor Emilio. There was no room in that closet.
He was a trooper, man. He was down for pretty much
Seriously.
anything. This is one of my. This might be my favorite joke in the episode.
Oh, I love that.
That little sleepy time room. There are all sorts of little details like that around set.
Yeah.
Here's a fun story. That cookie.
Oh boy.
There was one cookie on the plate,
Yep.
and I took a bite out of it, and then we did one take, and then for some reason we had to go and leave for 30 minutes, and we came back and Anna ate the cookie, and this is after 36 hours of shooting, and I just went off. I was so mad. I was
really
like,
mad
"You can't eat
about
that
that
cookie. It's a part of the show." And everyone was really uncomfortable.
It was super uncomfortable.
Sorry, everyone, and Anna. I was so stressed.
No, yeah, we were shooting for a long time. Everybody was out of it and stressed.
I mean, I'm gonna
So
get
this is
canceled now.
a 17-minute episode or something to that effect. 20 minutes.
They're on 20.
They're all at least 20.
Wouldn't it have just taken you 20 minutes to shoot then?
Yeah, you're right. We did do the full thing.
Right. That's the
So.
thing is we had 100 cameras set up at all the angles, and we just did it like a play.
This isn't.
We had to run really
a documentary.
What?
We had to run really fast to our interview shots so it looked seamless.
I do think this sets up our characters pretty well. I think it's probably the
Yeah.
weakest episode in the show. Would
It's
you
a
agree with
decent
that?
pilot. It's not a great episode.
I think that we hadn't really gotten to our flow yet, because this is also the
Yeah.
first episode we wrote.
Well, that was fun.
I love the
We
ending
would like to
songs.
thank our sponsor, Tyson Fried Chicken.
Yep.
They got great breasts. That's their
That's their
Slogan.
slogan. Yeah.
It's the best one they could have done, and they did it.
Best boy, probably God. That's a good joke.
It was pretty good.
The B-Boys. This is a good ending song. I'm happy
I
with
love-
this episode.
I love all the ending song bits. I love that. Oh, I love the after credits thing.
Oh yeah.
I always forget about this.
You can tell it's shot
Way
later.
later.
Because it looks
It's
so much nicer.
better.
With professional lights I bought, and
Oh, that's the one thing we forgot to set it to 11:59 p.m. So it just switched to noon on his watch instead of midnight.
that's fine. I really enjoy that. I think that was a last minute idea of mine, and I kept putting off shooting it, and then we shot it very
Honestly,
last minute.
Good, because it looked a lot better.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's been the commentary for episode
Episode 1.
1. So
Thanks for stopping by and watching this edition of
Now, Noah-
Three Idiots Explain Why Their Show is Bad.
Noah, you did mention you mentioned to me that you had a list of professions that are much more difficult than being a mom. Could you just list those off?
Profession's more difficult than
Yeah.
being a mom. Absolutely. Let's see. Personal driver. Dishwasher. Just kind of a guy that's just always there when you need him and you pay him. Boy, I don't know what this is.
Okay.
And we actually had a big argument before we started this, and we owe Noah a lot, and this is the only reason we're letting him say this on here. But what's your argument again for why men are better than women?
Yeah.
The thing that you really, really believe that
I
we
don't know
disagree
about-
with?
I don't know about that.
Remember how you said to me you really wanted to talk about it?
Oh, I don't
Yeah,
exactly
and you
remember that.
said I would bet my life's reputation on this belief.
I don't know. I don't think I said. Well, let's change the subject maybe to something else. I don't know. It's just
Bye.
Bye.